Welcome back to Crime Watch Narratives, and on today's video, we revisit the story of Ivy Wangechi, a Moi University student who was brutally murdered outside Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. The sixth-year university student was almost graduating to become a doctor when she was hacked to death by a man identified as Naftali. Naftali and Ivy had been friends since childhood and also had actually dated for about 7 years. Naftali took care of his lover, Ivy, in the best way he could or he knew how. He catered for her expenses and even chipped in to her school fees. Whenever Ivy needed money, Naftali tried his best to provide. Ivy was planning a birthday party, and therefore Naftali sent her 14,000 Kenyan shillings. The two were having difficulties in their relationship, and therefore Naftali decided to travel all the way from Thika to Eldoret so that they could iron their issues. There have been, however, different explanations to this incident. One, Ivy Wangechi continued to decline Kinothia's advances even after he sent her 14K for her birthday, and out of frustration, he put an axe and a knife in his car, traveled all the way from Thika to Eldoret with an intention of killing Ivy Wangechi. The second one is that he had an axe and a knife just for his own affairs, and then he saw Ivy hugging another man after she had blocked him, and out of frustration, he attacked her. But again, how would he have known where she was? This leads us to the third narrative that Kinothia had been spying on Wangechi through a friend of Wangechi who even is believed to have recorded a statement with the police. It is believed that when Kinothia got to Eldoret, the two lovebirds met. They talked, and even Wangechi received more money from Kinothia. Then they parted ways and agreed they would meet later after Wangechi was done with her day's activity. But after the meeting, Wangechi switched off her phone. But Kinothia continued to communicate with Wangechi's friend and even told him where they were. That is when Kinothia decided to buy an axe and a knife, and on seeing her with her friends, he attacked her. Kinothia struck her on her head using an axe. Wangechi fell on the ground, and Kinothia proceeded to use the axe to cut her in the head before slitting her throat open using the knife. He tried to escape on Boda Boda, but he was cornered and beaten up by the angry mob. It is actually the police who came to Kinothia's rescue. Appearing before the court in Malindi, Kilifi County, he confessed to the crime and expressed his regrets, explaining that he was overwhelmed by anger. He even at some point mentioned that he had only left for a few meters, and on turning back, he saw her hug another man. He proceeded to say that he could not even tell the moment that he decided to pick the axe. According to Kinothia, he was not himself.
First, I'd like to say I didn't have such an intention. If there was, maybe it would have happened earlier, because I visited her on that and we were good. I also never stopped taking care of her, sending her money, not only for the birthday but supporting her in other ways. So my mind was occupied by making things better.
Speaking in court on that March, Kinothia informed the court, or rather confessed, that Wangechi had asked for 28,000 for her birthday, but he was only able to give 14,000. Wangechi had blocked him, and therefore it was difficult to communicate, and therefore he decided to go all the way from Thika to Eldoret to wish her a happy birthday physically. But you see, still it was difficult to meet her because they could not communicate via the phone since Wangechi had already blocked him. So he convinced a friend of Wangechi by name Ann Chepkoech, and indeed she organized and they met. After meeting, that is when Wangechi told Naftali that he was not invited for the birthday party and that the other new boyfriend was going to cater for the rest of the things. At this point, Naftali was so frustrated and did not believe that the friendship they had had since 1998 was now coming to an end. He felt very much confused, very much overwhelmed, and before he could even walk a few meters, he saw Ivy and the new boyfriend hugging. That is when he lost control, went to his car, took an axe, and came and attacked Wangechi. Ivy Wangechi was buried in a very emotional ceremony at her parents' rural home in Karia village, Mahiga, Othaya in Nyeri County. Well, for Naftali, he has been in jail. He even mentioned that he lost his father to lung cancer while still he was in prison. The judgment has not been passed yet, and the Kenyans are eagerly waiting to see the conclusion of this case.